This car has some serious suspension issues. Going over a bump sounds like throwing rocks in a dryer. The shocks are blown. The steering wheel vigorously shakes under light braking. And overall, it's just sloppy. Sloppy, loose. That's how you can describe the suspension on this car. Sloppy and loose. And broken. But in this video, we're gonna be fixing that and extensively modifying my daily driver. So we've got Konig wheels, Tire Street tires, True Heart upper control arms, a front end rebuild kit, and BC Racing coilovers. I'll show you guys these wheels later in the video, but for now, the priority is to fix and upgrade this suspension. Oh God. This thing's got 200,000 miles on it, almost. So it's not a surprise that it's having some issues. Ooh. But doesn't mean it's not annoying. The main upgrade are these BC Racing DS series coilovers. The DS is their higher end coilover, and these are custom spec'd for this car. If you didn't know, BC Racing allows you to customize the spec of your coilovers for free. They've got different damper options, and they also have different spring rate options. I went with a 12K front spring and a 7K rear spring, which is a bit stiffer than what they recommend for this car, but I'm hoping it helps compensate the boatiness. Also, just for a nice before comparison, way too tall. Motherfucker. So we got the passenger side completely disassembled. Everything besides the lower control arm and the axle have been removed. So we have our blown strut. We got our inner tie rod, outer tie rod up there. Got the whole knuckle assembly, and we're gonna have to remove that ball joint. Before doing more disassembly, I wanna go ahead and work on getting this passenger side reassembled. So we gotta swap that ball joint, and then we just gotta start bolting things back together. So the passenger side is reassembled. Currently with the old brakes, I know those are an eyesore and they desperately need to be changed, but I have a whole big brake kit for the next video, so I don't want to install that quite yet. But with this side pretty much done, I'm gonna go ahead and work on the other side. right, the driver's side is done. The only thing I have to do is put in new tie rod ends and then torque everything to spec. But we're gonna wait to do that until we put the rears in, because then we can just kind of put the car on the ground and torque everything all at once. The rear is gonna be much easier because we're not actually replacing any of the other suspension components. In fact, it should just be taking the top hat bolts out, pushing this down a little bit, and snaking that coilover out of there. Now, you guys may have noticed that I've been wearing this stuff this entire video. Brunt t-shirt, pants, and more importantly, Brunt boots. But real quick, I want to talk about Brunt because they are the official sponsor of this video. Now, Brunt is the company that is transforming workwear, and their specialty are work boots. This right here are their next generation Marins. It's an everyday, do-everything work boot designed for comfort and durability. Unlike other boots, they don't have a long, painful break-in period. In terms of durability, these things are designed to survive in any environment. They've got double and triple stitching, improved waterproof construction, barnyard-resistant Texas steer leather. Plus, the outsoles are slip, oil, and heat resistant up to 572 degrees. Now, besides their boots, they do also make other workwear, as you saw. I really like this shirt. It's super comfortable, stretchy, durable, and stain resistant. I've gotten grease all over this thing and you can't really tell. And their shorts are a perfect compromise between stretchy and tough. So if you guys are interested in getting some Brunt workwear, you can check them out in the link in the description or up there in the cards. And you can get $10 off your first purchase of $60 or more using my code Gingium10. They also have a 30-day free trial for the boots, so you can try them, wear them. If you don't like them, you can return them. No BS. So huge thank you to Brunt for sponsoring this video. Back to the Accord. Actually, I'm gonna put this back on first. So now that all the coilovers were installed, we could continue. The next step was to jack each corner of the car up to ride height and torque down all the bushings. After that was done, it was time to give the car an alignment. But of course, in order to do that, we have to put the wheels on. And so, these are Konig heliograms wrapped in a Tire Street Accelera PH1. 18-inch diameter, 8.5-inch width, so a pretty big wheel, and the tire is a 400 tread wear, ultra high performance all season. These heliograms are flow formed, so they are quite light. In fact, they are lighter than the factory cast wheel, and the 400 tread wear tire should add a good amount of grip. If you guys have never heard of Konig, they make a bunch of awesome wheels. They just released their Forged series, so you now can get forged wheels from them, but they also have flow formed wheels like these. They've got truck wheels, they've got just cast car wheels, all of which are very awesome. And if you didn't know, Tire Streets is an awesome company that makes pretty much every single type of tire. You can get racing slicks, drift tires, ultra high performance all seasons, all terrains, mud terrains, rallycross tires, and the prices on all their tires are incredible. Now I've got two cool things for you guys from Tire Streets. For one, a discount code. If you use Gingium15 at checkout, you can get 15% off these already really cheap tires. The second thing is their ride or return guarantee. It is literally a free trial for your tires. For first time customers, you get to buy the tires, you get 30 days to try them out, drive on them. If you don't like them, you can return them, no BS. Huge thank you to Tire Streets and to Konig. Let's get these on the Accord. Admittedly, I already know these look awesome because I tested them. I was too excited, too eager. It's such a perfect look for this car. It's a really good OEM Plus wheel. Not too crazy or aggressive, just a nice silver big wheel. And then once we've got red Brembos on this thing, I mean, not sure if you'll be able to see this, but I can tilt that in or out. So we have to get camber situated first, and then we can mess with the toe. I'm gonna say right there, 20 millimeters. See how it works from there. Ooh, we're gonna have to roll these fenders for sure. Okay, forgot about that. The front is, well, the front we can just camber in, and it's kind of already rolled. As if anything, you just have to remove the liner. The back, different story. Have I ever told you guys how much I hate fender rollers? None of them are designed for low cars. This car isn't even low. I just put the coilover on, and this fender roller is too tall to actually work. Like, cause you're supposed to start with the roller parallel, essentially, to the lip. So it has to be like this. But that doesn't fit. You have to roll the fender before you put the coilover in, otherwise it's gonna be too short. So now I either have to uninstall the coilovers, put it back to stock, and roll the fenders, or figure something else out. God, I hate this. Thankfully, I remembered that coilovers, believe it or not, are actually height adjustable. Pretty good. I mean, the lip it's pretty skinny, but if you compare that with this massive lip on this side, I'd say it's pretty good. I think that'll be pretty much perfect. God damn! All y'all saying Accords are ugly cars, I mean, look at me now. Honestly, it could go a little lower in the front. Look at that. All right, but we're not gonna adjust the height yet, not at least until everything breaks in. For now, I gotta get some toe plates and do a little front end alignment. 74 in the front, and then 73.25 in the rear. So we've got 3/4 inch of toe out. So I'm gonna toe this one in, because it looks like while the steering wheel is straight, this one is pointing out more. And then I pretty much have to drive it. If the steering wheel is not straight, then I'll have to adjust both of them until it's straight. And the camber looks about right too. I made sure both control arms were the exact same length, so the camber should be right. It's always an exciting moment. Driving it for the first time after doing some mods. Yeah, damn. For a black car, this lighting is absolutely atrocious. It's so bright out, but sheesh, that's a good looking car right there. It's also always scary because I feel like maybe I forgot to tighten something. Okay, so maybe you can see steering wheel's off a little bit. Coming up to the first bump, first big bump. It's the perfect coilover testing bump. Oh, that's amazing. Is crazy. You can have a car that rides way stiffer, but it's more comfortable, it's more smooth because it's not sloppy. It doesn't have clanks. It doesn't feel like something's breaking. And so it just feels solid. You know, the bumps are controlled. And that's how this feels so far. Let me try to fix this alignment here. You know what? It fixed the vibration this thing used to have under acceleration too, or at least made it better. And same thing with the braking. I can still feel it a little bit. The brakes definitely are warped, but it's so much better, which means the sloppy tie rod was probably causing all of those issues. No rubbing whatsoever too. I love that the BCs come just right out of the box, set up really nicely. Oh my gosh. This car feels so much better. It is ridiculous, because we went from a broken factory suspension to an upgraded working suspension. Ooh. Okay. Definitely bottomed out there. That is a very big bump. I did go with a stiffer spring rate, but I didn't go with like a stance boy spring rate. So it will still bottom out and it will still rub over bumps. That's fine. It hasn't rubbed over anything besides that very large bump, which means we can probably go a little lower. But with the first drive complete, it was time to do some actual testing of the new suspension. Ideally, to test coilovers, I'd take the car to the track, but there's not an event until 2 weeks from now, so I'm gonna do that, but I wanna do some more testing now. And since we have the suspension fixed, a little bit more power of the exhaust, and some other things, I wanna do some 0 to 60 tests again. It's so much smoother. I'm gonna try to launch it a little bit smoother, but also maybe try to shift in the third. I can technically hit 60 in second, but it's like right at the limiter. .8, still worse.
30. 60.
Oh God. Two other thoughts. Maybe the additional camber is affecting traction more than the better tires. And secondly, maybe the stiffer suspension actually makes it. No, but for a front-wheel drive car, stiffer suspension preventing the weight shift should help because it keeps more weight on the front wheels. So it might just be the camber. I mean, this thing's got 2-3 degrees of camber now, but we're gonna give it a couple more shots. It at least doesn't feel like it's braking now. Like I can have fun hooning it. It feels super smooth. That's almost better than being 1/10 of a second faster or slower. Seven. Ooh, that was the worst one yet. Without a doubt, this car would be faster in every other measurable way besides maybe 0 to 60 acceleration right now. I want to give it one more shot though. One more shot. Hey! Last try, beat it. That was the best one. It definitely felt significantly better. 6.49. Okay. Could we have gotten that with the car being stock and just trying more? Probably. But the car might have broken when it was stock because it had so many issues. You know what? Now we can officially say it's faster and it feels better. A couple more modifications, things I wanted to do in the last interior video, but the parts hadn't shown up by then. This is a steering wheel cover, but not your, normal just slip-on steering wheel cover. This is an actual thread-on, stick-on steering wheel cover by Stitch & Cover. This suede cover was 70 bucks, so like pretty reasonable, and it should help restore the interior a little bit. Black with red stitching, and then I have a red Honda logo. This car has got that black and red vibe going on with it. I like it a lot. I've actually never owned a car that was really, well, I guess the Eclipse was my last like black and red car. It's a classic combo. You can't go wrong with it. Well, that ended up being kind of a huge pain in the ass. Took me almost 5 hours to install that steering wheel cover. And I have mixed opinions. The pros are that it's cheap, but the cons are that it's kind of cheap. The suede, it's not really a black suede. It's like a brown gray suede. It does not match the rest of the interior. It looks bleached. It's like, I don't know, the suede quality is lower. They did have more expensive suede options, so I guess that's my fault. But besides that, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good and it feels really nice. It makes the steering wheel thicker. It makes it feel kind of like a newer factory steering wheel off like the Type R or an SI. So that part I love about it. I think it's a great option for restoring your factory wheel. Would I put it on like a car that wasn't a 2004 Honda? Probably not. Question is, how long will it last? To be determined. But guys, that is going to be it for this video. I'm super happy with all of the results. The BC Racing coilovers, the Konig wheels, the Tire Street tires, the other suspension repairs and upgrades, and then that new steering wheel cover. Overall, this car now gives the vibe of kind of like a newer factory sportier Honda. I think it looks really nice. I think it's got a very good OEM plus vibe, which is perfect for a daily driver. this turned out perfect. And it's always nice when you put on race car modifications and your car just drives nicer. It doesn't ruin the drive quality at all. So great results. Did I ruin it? No, hell no. I made it way better. I'm in love with this car. This car is rad. If you guys want to check out any of the sponsors of the video, Brunt, BC Racing, Konig, Tire Streets, I'll have links in the description and in the cards up there. Huge thank you to all of them for making this possible. In the next video, we are going to be putting on the big brake kit. But in addition to that, we're gonna be taking it to the mountains, testing everything before and after the big brake kit. It's gonna be a fun video. And of course, if you wanna see that video ahead of schedule, you can check out Patreon, support the channel there. You get early access to videos, access to exclusive content, and you just support the channel. Huge thank you to everyone who becomes a patron. It makes such a big difference for the channel. Also, apologies for being MIA for 2 weeks. I was on a biking trip. I went on a 10-day trip to do lots of mountain biking, and I had an absolute blast. I do have some exciting news to share in terms of that in the next few months. Mountain biking has become my biggest passion besides cars, and I might incorporate it here and there into videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.